If you're looking for day trading education, high-level trade analysis, and dissection, you've come to the right place. My name is Pat Mitchell. I've been a professional day trader for the past 11 years, and I'm here to bring you exactly that, professional day trading education, all here for free on YouTube and on X. And tonight, I'm going to go over and I'm going to show you the world's simplest strategy. Anyone can implement it and execute it. And I'm going to go over a few trades that I took, and I may have lied to you in the description and the thumbnail. Maybe not quite 20,000 in profits, but pretty damn close. And I already pre-made the thumbnail, so it is what it is. Okay, guys, I hope you all had a wonderful day. We are gonna, oops, sorry, I gotta move something so that I can share my screen. There we go. Okay, hope you all had a wonderful day. Let's get into it. Okay, guys, so for those of you that are just joining us, real quick spiel here. These blue levels are levels that I strike prior to the market open, 30 minutes at a minimum, never after. These aren't marking a low or a low of range or a low of day or a high of day. It's not marking that. These are already marked prior to the market open. And then at 9 a.m. East, sharp, every single day, I develop trade plans surrounding these levels. Generally, the lower levels are to go long and the upper levels are to go short. It's very simple. We use very simple, straightforward technical analysis because that's what works. That's what you're able to do consistently over time. So keep that in mind. If you have a complicated day trading strategy or trading strategy in general, you're fucked. It's never going to work out long term. It won't. It will and can work out short term, but long term, absolutely not. So now that we got that out of the way, let's go over the very first trade that we triggered on. So it was a fairly quick execution. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more just so then you guys can see it really, really well here. So on this here, Qs was our main watch. That's what I wanted everyone to focus on. So the market opened and it dipped into support. If the market opened and popped into resistance, we would have went short, but that's not what happened. Instead, we dipped into support, which was major valid support. Super protected in this trade because you had the 9 EMA and the 20 SMA on the daily right there. And you had protection down below, which this next level down was our technical risk and our stop. Okay. So we had low of range and then the high of this day. So we had 3 touches plus more if you want to look further left, but it's a heavy volume zone for protection. So that's why, even though there's not a lot of distance coming into that level, I'm still going to execute it. And it actually gave a couple of really quick opportunities to get in and get out, and then get in and then get out. So you could have paid yourself rather quickly on this. And I'm going to zoom in even further so then you can see that. So basically, and I'm going to stretch this out so then you can really, really see. One sec here. Okay. So when the market opens and we come straight down into the level, we execute right into that level. It immediately gets sucked up, and it came right about here at one point. That there is a lot of range. If you take a look, it might be one candle, but from your execution at 619.11 up to highs 619.97, you might as well call it one full point of range on one singular candle. So you execute and you pay yourself, you lock in. That's why you see entries and then exits right away. Then, because of the position size that I'm holding, as well as adding, and I'll show you where I added, one sec. Come on. So on this secondary red candle, when it came down to test again, it's a perfect opportunity. The trade hasn't changed. The dynamics of the trade haven't changed. Nothing's changed. So I will use that opportunity to get involved with it yet again. So I entered into that trade and simply worked it all the way up. And that was a rather large trade. It was about 150%, somewhere in there, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. Immediately within 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes of the market open. It's a massive trade. So simply working it up, you're going to see payments here. which that's where it's coming up into resistance, and then paying myself on this gift of a push. So I locked in $7,417 on that trade within 8 minutes. Ridiculous. Beautiful trade. So now, because like I said earlier, if we go long here, that means we go short here. No long here, didn't execute the long, but there was most definitely a short up here, wasn't there? So that's exactly what I executed. So let's dip over to SPY. So SPY came racing up into that level. Absolutely beautiful. Executed that trade and worked it all the way down, coming back down into target, which was this back to the support level. Very simple, straightforward trade. For those of you that have watched this channel more than once, you should realize that all of these trades are based off of simple support and simple resistance. And then your target on, let's say you execute the short, so you execute into resistance, your target becomes support. That's it. That's all there is to it, guys. Now, obviously, I'm kind of fucking with you a little bit. It's not quite that simple. There are the devil's in the details, so to speak. The details is what makes or breaks you as a trader, and that's where a lot of traders fail. But for the most part, for our purposes here, for this video, for this free YouTube video, we enter in short and write it down into support. And again, if you take a look, that's from $1.50 entry to my best sell at just under $3. That's again another 100% trade. Absolutely fantastic on that. And on that trade, I locked in $4,264. So another beautiful trade. Now let's talk about the exact same trade, but on Qs. And you might be looking at it and being like, whoa, so you're telling me you executed short here and you held all the way up here. Well, then I would answer, yes, abso-fucking-lutely I did. Why is that? Well, we work off of risk. So let me zoom out. Your risk on this trade, or my risk on this trade, was technical resistance into pre-market highs. So that right there, this first yellow level, so that I can zoom back in here, that is our technical stop. Just because it touches or breaks through that doesn't necessarily mean you stop out. Now, let me explain. Because we went in one singular candle and we came up into that risk and continued up, that damage is done. Damage, so to speak, is done. You then need to look at the next candle. The next candle barely went above as it rejected quite a bit, more than half of that candle. It rejected back to that candle. So if you're stopping out right at highs, you're doing yourself a disservice. What you need to do is be comfortable with being uncomfortable and work the position. And I said that live on screen share this morning. Don't be, you got to see this thing out. If you executed this, don't be stopping out. You need to see this trade out. And there's a method that I use that takes you 60 seconds at a time. That's for members. If you think about joining, you'll get what I call the shot clock. And that really helps you stay calm in these trades because it takes you from candle to candle. As more information comes in, it's going to tell you what the chart is going to do, what the stock or ETF is going to do, or it's going to basically tell you what comes next. Okay. So as we're watching this, it could not confirm above that last candle. That's not true confirmation, by the way. Next candle opens, pops, could not break those highs. That is now your high water mark. That is your stop. If we came up and it wanted to confirm, you need to get the fuck out. There's no point in continuing to hold that. But because it never confirmed, remember, it is not the break of your technical stop. And this is where hard stops will fuck you over. This is why you do not set hard stops. The only time to set a hard stop where it will take you out, if that price point triggers, if you are not sitting and monitoring in front of the charts. You have to. And you always want to give it a little bit of wiggle room, right? So you have a stop and you need to give it room to breathe, because generally you're risking off of technicals, right? So those technicals are still technicals. If you're below coming into that technical level, well, that's resistance. That's still technical resistance, right? So you need to keep that in mind. So on this next candle opens here. Again, it's putting in lower lows. It's now back below the high of that initial push and squeeze candle. You're safe. Now you simply wait for it to either stop you out or give you follow through. And it's really that simple. People want to try and control the outcome of these stocks through their emotion, which when you say that out loud, it's completely fucking crazy and delusional, but it's par for the course for today's world. We can't do anything about it. We don't control these stocks, right? We simply have a trade plan and you need to work it. You need to work that trade plan fully. And that's what I can teach you to do. So on that trade, ended up walking away with $5,782 on that. So overall, each and every trade that I took today was plus minus 5K. So multiple times within 8-9 minutes, a guy's locking in that type of gain. And it's very easy to do. Now, I'm not saying that you would make these types of gains yourself. You most certainly shouldn't and won't when you're learning how to trade. If you are, you're trading way too much size and you're going to blow up. But you can make some pretty healthy gains. These are all roughly 100% trades, plus or minus a little bit, some more, some less, all within 8 minutes, which is fantastic. So overall, pretty exceptional day. And if you want to learn how to come do this and learn from someone that can get you there, come to tricktrades.com. And if not, you want to continue on with the free stuff and spin your wheels, that is completely up to you. There are 1,500 free videos for you to sift through. Fill your boots. That's why they're there. Okay, guys, I hope you all have a wonderful day and have a wonderful evening, I should say. And we'll see you tomorrow. Adios, folks.